The Eastern Division Series between Chatham and Harwich returns to White House Field tonight. It's Game 3, win or go home for both teams. The Anglers took Game 1 3-1, while the Mariners took Game 2, a 13-1 final at Veterans Field. It's time for the Manager Show. Jake Eisenberg here alongside the skipper John Schiffner for the 47th time this season. And, well, we said it, win or go home. What's the mentality for your team tonight?
Got to play a game. We've been trying to, really push that for the last several weeks. Play the game. And if we play well, we'll play tomorrow or whenever the next game is.
It seemed as though there were two completely different teams that were playing here Friday night and then Saturday.
Yeah.
How do you bring out the Friday night team in this game?
I wish I knew, because if I knew that, I wouldn't be here. I would be managing the Yankees or the Reds or whatever other teams aren't doing real well, because they would say, "Hey, that guy knows what to do. Get him up here." So I don't know. I don't know the formula. I know they have been, for me, one of the best groups of kids I've worked with, as far as just keeping it a level playing field, just keeping it even keel. They weren't too high on wins and they weren't too low on losses, and God bless them. I think that's a wonderful trait to have.
Well, it's a trait that may come in handy tonight. There were a couple of losses earlier this season that this team has bounced back from.
Mm-hmm.
So do you draw from those experiences?
Sure, definitely do. They know what they need to do, and it's a funny game. We've said that all year long. It's a funny game. It's also a game of inches, and we have taken advantage of those inches, not as often as I would have liked, and the other team as well. So it's like, play the game. Their attitude right now in batting practice is fine. What more can you ask?
Taking a look at the pitching matchup for tonight, it's another lefty that goes for you in this ball game. Last night it was Bo Burrup, and his soft stuff wasn't able to locate 100%, and that's
right
where Harwich jumped on it.
Exactly.
What does Parker Rigler need to do tonight?
He needs to do more than Bo did. He needs to locate, he needs to change his speeds, he needs to get them off stride, off balance, and we can play defense behind him and see what we can do with their lefty. It's that simple. It all comes down to pitching and what you do to the opponent's pitching.
Well, one thing in this series that has gone the Anglers' way is the bullpen is completely fresh. Isaac Matson hasn't pitched, neither is Moises Seja. Are those guys that we can expect to see in the ball game tonight?
Yes, definitely.
Turning our attention to their pitcher, Packy Naughton, he had his worst start of the season against Chatham earlier in July. What do you take from that game, if anything, to tonight?
I hope it's in his head, that he's going to press because he wants to do better because he didn't do so well last time. He's a good pitcher. I saw him throw. I've seen him throw, and he's very good. And we've got our hands full.
There's a game to be played tonight, but if tonight is the final day of the season, what do you take from your 24th year as a manager for this Chatham Anglers team?
Oh, it was a great experience for me as a manager because of the attitude of the kids that, they worked. They came and worked. I would say between 80 and 90% of them, of the position players, took advantage of early batting practice. I do believe that some of them got better. Maybe not necessarily that you can, quantify it through statistics or statistical analysis. Swings are better, contact is better, approach is better. The luck factor, you can't factor that in, but I do think a number of guys have become better baseball players this year. That's what we always say we want them to do, is to go back to their school and be better, and the coaches are going, "Hey, you had a great experience at the Cape." And their coach isn't going to really care whether we won or lost, won the championship, made the playoffs or not. He's going to say, "That's a great experience. You've gotten better." And that's all we really want to do. We want to get them better, and we've always said if they get better, you hope it transfers out onto the playing field.
You've mentioned more than a few times this season that this is a team that gets along really well together. It's been one of your favorites to coach.
Definitely.
Where does it rank in your team?
Tough. Too many. Way too many. But they're definitely high on the list. There's no question. They've been a tremendous group of guys. Like I've said numerous times, this group will stay in touch collectively more than I think a lot of the other groups we've had, because they just did a lot of things together. They've gone through the adversity together. They've had some great wins together. I mean, come on, how many, you got 3 walk-off wins and an almost, walk-off when we get the 3-run home run in the top of the 9th over at YD. Huge playoff win the other night. Those are things they take with them and go, wow. And I was with my buds. That's my guys right there. We had fun. That was awesome. How about that pile at the home plate? At the end of that, things like that they'll take with them forever and remember the summer of 2016.
Well, Chatham looking to create another memory tonight, looking to take Game 3 of the East Division Series and knock off the top-seeded Harwich Mariners to move on the East Division Conference Finals. Schiff, thanks as always for your time.
Thank you. Jeff Yoakum, 1982 catcher, sent these Oakley. These are not Oakleys, these are Nikes. What do you guys think of them? They're pretty cool.
I think they're pretty cool. They look good.
They're awesome. Yeah, of course they look good. They're on me. Come on.
In any case, Evan, back to you.